Peter Thiel's name is in the Epstein files. That alone would be a story, but last month a completely separate archive was blown open, and what came out of it changes how you see every institution these people touch. Her name is Maya Arsen-Crimiu. She's a Swiss hacktivist and security researcher known for helping expose the United States government's no-fly list. This time, she uncovered a publicly exposed directory connected to a private network called Dialog. A separate source gave Wired registration records for Dialog's 2026 retreat, containing 222 names. Politicians, military officials, tech founders, financiers, actors, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Senators Ted Cruz and Cory Booker, Elon Musk, NATO Supreme Allied Commander General Alexis Krinkowicz, Brian Johnson, Josh Brolin, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Sophia Bush, and Scooter Braun. And two figures from Pakistan, former Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi and former Pakistani Ambassador to the United States Ali Jahangir Siddiqui. Their appearance in the records does not prove that every person attended the same event, endorsed Peter Thiel's politics, or even considered themselves a Dialog member. Some were identified as guests or registrants, but the records reveal the infrastructure surrounding them. Dialog was co-founded by Peter Thiel and data broker Oren Hoffman in 2006. It organizes invitation-only off-the-record gatherings for people from government, technology, finance, academia, media, and the military. None of the registrants identified by Wired used government email addresses. That does not prove an international effort to evade public record laws, but it can make official participation harder to identify through ordinary transparency requests. And Dialog was doing more than collecting names. According to Wired, internal records ranked attendees by wealth, fame, connections, and perceived contribution. They received grades and value-add scores that could affect who they met, where they sat, when they paid, and whether they were invited back. Some were excluded because their value-add was considered too low or their grades had fallen. The system reportedly tracked political leanings and relationships. It also included elite matchmaking. The same machinery that ranked a person's political and financial value could help manage their social and romantic success. Power sorting itself in private. The agenda for the August 2026 retreat outside Dublin reportedly includes session titled Navigating World War III, Battlefield Technologies, Bring Back Nuclear, and Build a Cult. Dialog has also pursued plans for permanent campus near Washington. This is no longer merely a private dinner, it's an institution. And that brings us to Thiel's public infrastructure. Peter Thiel co-founded Palantir, one of the world's most powerful data analysis companies. Its software has been used across US defense, intelligence, and immigration enforcement. Palantir has worked with US immigration authorities on systems used to identify, investigate, and locate people targeted for removal. In Britain, a Palantir-led consortium holds the NHS Federated Data Platform contract, worth up to approximately £330 million. The system processes information already held across NHS services under NHS data governance controls. Supporters say it can improve coordination and patient care. Critics fear dependence on a politically connected American defense contractor inside public health infrastructure. Palantir's relationship with Israel goes further. In 2024, the company announced a strategic partnership with the Israeli Ministry of Defense to support war-related missions. United Nations Special Rapporteur Francesca Albanese later linked Palantir to the wider corporate and technological infrastructure supporting Israel's assault on Gaza. Palantir denies developing or supporting those systems. It says that they predate its partnership with the Israeli military and are unrelated to its work. That denial matters. So does the confirmed partnership. When Thiel was questioned publicly about Israeli military artificial intelligence, he largely deferred to the judgment of the Israeli military. Then there's Jeffrey Epstein. Records released by the House Oversight Democrats include evidence of scheduled meetings or attempted contact involving Peter Thiel. Earlier reporting also identified several meetings scheduled between Thiel and Epstein during the 2010s. The records do not prove that Thiel participated in Epstein's crimes. They do place him inside another documented network of private introduction, elite access, and meetings arranged by Epstein. Then in May 2026, the Financial Times reported that Thiel temporarily relocated his family to Buenos Aires. He was reportedly attracted by President Javier Milei's libertarian government, deregulation program, and economic experiment. Argentina should not be described as an escape from prosecution. There's no evidence of that. But the move fits a broader pattern amongst billionaires searching for political and geographic alternatives while investigating across multiple countries. At the same time, resistance to Palantir has been growing elsewhere. Spain reportedly instructed state-backed companies to avoid signing new contracts with Palantir, citing national security and technological sovereignty concerns. In London, Mayor Sadiq Khan blocked a proposed £50 million Palantir contract with the Metropolitan Police after his office raised procurement, legal, and reputational concerns. Palantir challenged the decision, while the Metropolitan Police defended its use of artificial intelligence and said the technology had helped identify misconduct. A smaller pilot was allowed to continue while a competitive procurement process was prepared. The dispute is not a simple ban. It's a fight over whether governments should become dependent on one powerful private company to interpret their most sensitive information. And now Thiel's network is turning towards journalism. A startup called Objection launched with funding linked to Thiel. For $2,000, a customer could challenge a published article and have artificial intelligence models judge its claims. After intense criticism, the project shifted towards a platform called The Primary, designed to score journalists and news organizations for credibility. A separate Thiel-backed company, State Affairs, is hiring reporters to cover state governments and selling political and regulatory intelligence to institutional clients. Funding a company does not establish that Thiel controls every editorial decision, but taken together, the investments reveal a direction. One system helps governments analyze populations, another private network ranks elites, another platform scores journalists, and another builds a new political reporting network. Dialog is the private room, Palantir is the state infrastructure. The Israeli partnership is the war technology connection. The NHS is the public data pipeline. Immigration enforcement is the tracking machine. The Epstein records reveal the older architecture of elite access. Argentina is the political alternative. The Primary is the journalist scoreboard. State Affairs is the new information network. Peter Thiel stands at every intersection. The scandal is not simply that powerful people meet privately, they always have. It's that private networks now overlap with defense systems, immigration databases, health infrastructure, military technology, and the mechanisms that decide which journalists the public should trust. The people building systems that assess everyone else are also constructing systems to assess one another. And now they are assessing the people who report on them. And that's everything you need to know today. If someone you know needs to hear this, send it to them. That's why Verum exists.